Today I have the pleasure of being joined by Mary Turk, editor at Twin Cities Daily Planet. Welcome, Mary, to the show.
Thank you.
Now, Mary, I know that Twin Cities Daily Planet is a nonprofit media organization. Now, why does the Twin Cities need a nonprofit organization, and how did this start?
Well, as you know, the for-profit media organizations have been suffering huge cuts lately. Over the past decade, the news hole has grown smaller. The number of reporters and journalists who work for the mainstream media has grown much smaller. And aside from even the reduction in size of local coverage, there's always been some difficulty with focusing on communities of color, communities in poverty, and in focusing on things that are not quite in the mainstream. So the Daily Planet was formed as a way to give voice to people who are not perhaps represented in the mainstream media as much. And that means that our community media partners come from all over, from community media, ethnic media, labor media, women's press, and so on.
Okay. And how do people, how do people find out about you guys? I mean, I know there might be major, like a labor group that wants to get their voice out there, write about what they're going through and share it with the community. How do they know to contact you guys?
Well, first of all, we have about 60 community media partners, and those range from Minnesota Spokesman Recorder, which has been around for 75 years, to some of the newer immigrant newspapers, Mishali and African News Journal, to neighborhood newspapers like the Park Bugle in St. Paul. So these community media partners have their content on the Daily Planet in part. We curate and aggregate some of their content, and that's one of the content streams that we have. We also have freelance reporters who report, some for small pay and some for no pay, on events, happenings, things that they're interested in, things that we assign. Some of them are writing because they want to be writers. Others are writing because they have a passion for a particular topic and they want to cover that topic. So that's a second stream of information. So we have the media partners articles that we republish, the freelance articles that we publish, which then the media partners can also use in their publications. And we have the final stream of the free speech zone, which is anybody and anything. Anyone can send an article into the free speech zone and have it published, so long as it's not libelous or racist or completely beyond the pale. But I don't recall receiving any articles of that sort for the free speech zone. We also do not publish press releases, but we publish articles from anyone who wants to send an article. And I use the term article broadly. We're a newspaper, but we're not paper, we're online. And an article might be a video report, it might be an audio clip, it might be a photo essay, whatever people can use to tell a story. The story is key.
Okay. Now, do you guys hold monthly meetings with your partners? Do you guys hold workshops with people who might be interested in writing or who might want to kind of build up on their writing skills?
Well, over the 3.5 years that I've been editor, I have found that we need a whole lot of different ways in. Some people send an email and they will only correspond by email. Some people like meetings, and we have 2 writers groups every week, Monday afternoon in Rondo Library here in St. Paul, and Wednesday afternoon at our office in Minneapolis. So that gives writers an opportunity to bring their stories in, to workshop those stories, to meet me, to meet other writers. We also have workshops. Jay Gabler, who's our arts editor, teaches some workshops on arts issues and reporting on the arts, reviewing. Ann Alquist, who's our community outreach coordinator, does other workshops and coordinates all of our classes and workshops, which range from how to do a blog to podcasting to interviewing. So we do try to present a lot of ways into the Daily Planet for people who want to be involved, who have stories to tell.
Now, can you kind of go through the submission process? How do you, well, let's talk about the screening process. What makes it through? We kind of talked about the free speech, how almost anything can get published there, but to kind of get into different categories, let's say what's going on in the community today, what's really, the front page news, what makes it what makes it to
What
those
makes it to
pages?
front page news? Well, first of all, for what's going on, our community calendar, like the Free Speech Zone, is open to everybody. So people post events there, and they just post. For the Free Speech Zone, for comments, everything is moderated because we don't allow spam and press releases. Okay. For what makes it to the front page, it's hard to say. It depends on what our community media partners are publishing, and also on what we have reporters who are willing to report on. But in general, we focus on news from underrepresented and underreported communities in the areas of health, housing, education, immigration and the environment, and the arts. Okay. So those are general categories.
Now, do you guys partner up a lot with, you know, say the Star Tribune, the Pioneer Press?
Nope.
No.
No, we focus on community and ethnic media. SPNN's a partner, MTN is a partner, KFAI. So we're not partners with the big guys.
Okay. Now, if someone wanted to contribute to the Daily Planet, how do they do that?
All they need to do is email editor@tcdailyplanet.net. And in terms of other contributions, we're in the middle of our membership and fund drive right now too, because we're supported by foundations and also by membership. But to contribute an article, you go to editor@tcdailyplanet.net or go to our page and take a look. It's tcdailyplanet.net. We have an assignment desk with suggestions for articles people might want to write, and they can get an idea of what we're like.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mary.